Okay, so the card is done. My sickness is almost over. I'm still coughing a little bit, but it's getting very minimum. So I can finally start working more on GoZen again. But first of all, how will I handle this? Because we have the core now, and I could continue work again on GoZen. But I kind of feel like making a minimum viable project, like a very simple video editor, would probably be the better approach to have more of an actual idea of how the system should look like, and kind of like a test room. So my first thing that I should do is probably make some kind of plan on how to handle everything and what I should do. I'll give myself maximum 1 hour for this. Hopefully it will take less time than that. But I feel like I should plan some things before I start running around like a chicken without a head. So yeah, let's get to that. For the people who have not joined the Discord server yet, join the Discord server. There's useful information there. Okay, so I'll try to give a short summary of the whole to-do lists. You can also see it in the GitHub repo itself under the issues. It's a pinned issue. First of all, one of the things that I did was figure out the feature list. Also, by the way, I did everything in 30 minutes and I also made my kid fall asleep in this time. So yeah, figure out feature list, UI positioning, where do I want to, like how do I want the overall UI to look. I'll go a lot more simple compared to what I am doing for the full version of GoZen. Next up, there's the data saving system. I already have this system, but I kind of want to make it into a GDExtension. Yeah, next up, the media pool, the timeline, two things that you really need, also the project view, the effects panel. Even though it will be a very basic video editor, I still think we should have some basic effects like the volume control, transform, scaling and such. Also transitions, that's also something that you should have in a very basic minimal video editor. Not too difficult, and also these are things that I need inside of the full version of GoZen. Title support and of course a render menu. So yeah, that's about everything. Now, I do want to start making more of these type of videos that I do other stuff as well in the videos instead of just sitting in front of my PC. Because, well, those videos are easier to make, but I don't really enjoy making them as much because I feel like they get boring after like the first 1-2 minutes. So I will start making chocolate pudding whilst talking more about planning. I need to make chocolate pudding because I promised my wife, so yeah. But yeah, planning is not complete yet. I still need to do a couple more things. With a couple more things I mean kind of a lot. I still want to plan the whole layout of the project itself. I also kind of want to set up the GitHub project itself up a little bit more with better tags and such. Maybe milestones, not really set. I want to have a little bit more order in what I do so other people who want to contribute to the project have an easier time figuring the whole project out. Because I kind of realized with the GDExtension I went very much into like, let's make this work as quickly as possible, making the project overall a little bit confusing for people who don't really know what the project is about. It's something I should fix, but that will be for later today. First, chocolate pudding, then I need to prepare dinner. My kid will soon have to be woken up because else he won't sleep at night anymore. And so my life stays busy. So, chocolate pudding. If you like this kind of devlog style, please let me know so I know that I'm doing a good job. I really do want to make more videos and I want to make them in a way that I would like, but I also want people to actually watch them. So yeah, let me know in the comments below if you like this style or not. It's kind of development of GoZen together with my personal life as a stay-at-home dad, so yeah. I like making these. That should be all that matters, but yeah. Okay, and so one of the first things I'll start doing before I do anything else is actually organize the project a little bit more. And I'll do that by basically deleting quite a lot, because right now the GoZen Lite repo is still pretty much a... yeah, it's kind of a mess because it's kind of working, kind of not working, because it was my initial try for the GDExtension itself. I switched that to a different repo, so yeah, I kind of have a lot of cleaning up to do, but I don't think it will take too long. Famous last words. Okay, so after some cleanup, I mainly use VS Code for the cleanup, just because of the whole folder structure. I am not familiar enough with Git yet to actually delete everything properly and easily. So the only folders that we have left are the .git folder. I tried to remove the modules. I hope I did a good job of that. The source folder, which is basically the project itself, I did not change too much, except for in the project I changed the description to a very basic video player. For the rest, I did not think anything needs to change in here, so I won't be spending any time in the Godot editor today, so yeah, it's just basically cleanup and planning for today. So we have our git ignore, license, and readme, and I think in git ignore I still need to change a couple of things. So we won't have any Python scripts anymore, so we can basically delete those lines, so let's do that. VS Code, I won't be using VS Code, so let's remove that. Also no C++ in this project anymore, so let's remove that as well. FFmpeg, also not needed anymore. Testing experts, testing plus experts files. I will remove this for now as well, just because I don't see myself using that anytime soon. And the mono specific things, it won't be a mono project, so let's also just remove those. And then we have translations, import Godot, so the only ones that we need. So let's quickly save this. Let's just call it cleanup. Cleanup for alpha, and that is done. That is live now. So if you go into the GitHub repo, normally we would see change happening. Yeah, a lot went away. I changed the information here as well, the readme, to a very basic thing. But yeah, that's basically it. One of the first things I will probably do is the data saving system. That's something I should do quickly whilst I still have enough GDExtension knowledge in my head. It's a very simple thing that I want to make, and I will make it into a repo, so for everybody who wants to use my system, they can. After that I will go over the media pool, and that is because the media pool I have been struggling with kind of a lot. I tried to use a file tree system from Godot itself, but I'm having issues with it the entire time. Then the timeline, because that is another very big issue part, and from then on out normally everything should become easier with the project view, effects panel. The basic effects will become a little bit more troublesome again. The rendering menu is basically just providing a way for people to change the settings for the rendering, and the rendering system is already made, so that's not a problem. Title support is something I want to do towards later parts, because it's not that much work and it's basically just finishing up at that point. The color support as well, just to have color images, and transitions. Transitions is another one that will become a little bit troublesome, and I just realized we should have the effects panel. I should add one thing here, because I want to be able, like, even for the very basic version of the video editor, I still want to have the whole animation, like timeline stuff inside of effects timestamps. Let's just call it like that for now. Okay, so update comments, and that's about it. So yeah, it's 2 o'clock. I still need to wake up my kids. We need to go to the park. I need to start cooking, and I still need to study my hour of Japanese today. So yeah, I think that's it for today of all the work that I am able to do here, because I'm still sick. I should sleep early, and recently I've been falling asleep at around 6 or 7 o'clock, so yeah. Well, see you tomorrow. So I finished grocery shopping, I went to the park with my kids. And I cleaned the fridge and the house, so I can finally sit down and work on today's part. It's already 1:30, so yeah, I'm giving myself only like 1 hour to make this system, because I kind of have it already. I just want to convert it to a GDExtension to more easily use it into different projects like my GoZen project and maybe even Tele.dot and such and all the future programs that I'll be making. So yeah, let's get to it. And the GDExtension is done. It took me a little bit more time because yesterday my kids started becoming kind of difficult to handle, so yeah. Oh well, I was able to finish it today, but for the rest of today I will have to work on videos because that's also something that needs to happen because else I don't have an income. Tomorrow weekend starts. I try to not work during the weekend, do any programming during the weekend, just to spend more time with my family. But I may start working on arranging all the UI. But probably when you're seeing this, I think I've already done this. So we have the menu bar, we have the project view, the timeline pops up as well, the file explorer, and also the effects panel. So when you see this part of the video, you'll see the UI around me. Or at least like the very first stage. Oh well. First of all, yes, this is my pajama and I had another terrible night. You're also still in your pajama, ne? Pajama. Basically, I've been having almost no night rest at all recently. I'm starting to blame my pillow. It's too soft. I require something a little bit higher, thicker, harder. Yeah, I've been sleeping terribly. Yeah, I need to sort out my sleeping situation. I'll try a different pillow. Let's see if that works. I'm a mess. I tried taking a nap again, but I'm not the kind of person who can take a nap during the day. And my kid is way too active. Being a stay-at-home dad, when you have days like this that you have no energy at all, terrible. Okay, so I could try to make some amount of progress today, but I already know if I were to try today, I'll make a lot of mistakes, have to fix a lot more because I woke up at 1 o'clock this night. In total I slept for like maximum 3 hours. Last night, kind of similar, so yeah. I was going to take an amount of like probably around a week, kind of a break from working on GoZen. And I think I'll take a break until I feel like my mind is clear enough and that I can actually have some proper rest and such. There are a lot of things I need to do because the amount of money that I'm earning right now, it's way too low to continue. If I keep earning this low of an amount, like I think in euros, I'm earning less than 60-70 euros a month. It is not a lot, even for Japan. So yeah, my plan is basically right now to put a little bit of a break on GoZen. I have been able to figure things out. Like even though I'm planning on taking a break, I keep thinking about how to solve some of the problems that I've been having. And right now I basically got a system figured out for the timeline. I may try to work on it today, but I'm not certain. I first want to finish editing this video. Because I have some work on that. And afterwards, I'll see. So in my break for a week, what will I work on? Probably other videos, and I may start a one-day project which will probably turn into week projects. I'm not certain, but I should really focus more on making videos. My second channel is almost monetized, which could raise my monthly income by around 10 to 20 euros each month. It's not much, but it's taking me closer to my goal. My goal is basically to earn around 10,000 yen each month, which will be enough to live from. if you were to buy a house. So the plan right now is to basically buy an old house, renovate it myself, and hopefully not have too much of a loan, hopefully no loan. Like we have some amount of money saved up. Like it's not really like money is an actual problem for us, but we don't want it to become a problem, and that's why I really need to raise my salary. But I must say, like I'm really starting to see the end goal of GoZen. At least like the minimum viable project GoZen Lite. I'm starting to see the end goal, and it's very nice to find. I should probably wear my... But yeah, I'm starting to see an end goal with the timeline, like with the parts that I was struggling with, figured out. I'm actually getting very close. I won't put a deadline on it. But I think after my break, all I will need is probably 1 more week, 2 more weeks, and we will have a usable version to render our videos. During my break I will probably learn a little bit about shaders, because the effects system will work with shaders, and my knowledge about shaders is 0, and I cannot really seem to find any good learning resources on how shaders work and such. So yeah, probably for later. But yeah, so for the next week or so, next 2 weeks, you will probably not really hear or see much of GoZen at all. Again, break time, and afterwards I'll probably only talk about GoZen until we have a working version. And before I go, this is GoZen right now. We can insert clips, it will directly go towards the correct tab. The UI is still really much a work in progress, but we can add clips to the timeline now. But anyway, that's it for me for this video. This is kind of a long one. Again, let me know what you think of this style. I'll be trying a couple of different video styles in the next week, because I'll finally have a little bit more time for it, because working on GoZen has taken up a ton of time. First of all, edit this video, upload it, and then I should really look into getting some proper rest and proper sleep. My body needs it. But yeah, anyway, one more big shout out to all my Ko-fi supporters. Without them I would not be able to survive at all, because right now my Ko-fi supporters are earning more than my main YouTube channel. So thank you very much for that, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.